Hi, I'm June. I'm really excited about this video because it kind of recaps and reviews the videos that I've done recently, and also to sort of talk about the direction it's going, answering some questions that people have. I will have many other videos in the future that talk about the myths that you can easily fall into. That's very important. As I teach my students, we still go over things because they go and play golf with people and then they hear things and it seems correct. And I'm not saying that they're all incorrect, but it's good to talk it through to see if it really goes well with fundamentals and if it's worth your time. And also I've had people where they put in the time to find that, oh, that was a waste of time. So I'm just trying to save people time and energy because we have other things in life. A lot of people aren't like me where I really took a deep dive into the game and I continue to. I'm going to share with you my passion where I like to take things to the nth degree in the game of golf, in the golf swing. I just got done with taking a lesson from Hank, day 2, and we basically put all the puzzle pieces together of what I need to work on. And what's cool is I got to a level where it's fine-tuning. It's the level that I've been striving to get to then now work on it. And it's going to be a lot of work. It's going to be a lot of practice. Everything that I tell students that have high expectations or that really want to improve their game, the things that I tell them is what I've done in the past to take it to many levels, and it's what I'm going to be doing again to take it to that level that I've always wanted to be at. I mean, he put me in positions where the best players in the world are, and that's what's cool. As an instructor, I challenge my students and I tell them that it's going to take time, but it's worthwhile. Be patient, get through it, and it's so worthwhile. And I'm proud of myself in the fact that I'm an instructor that does everything that I teach and tell people to do. I don't just tell people to go get through this difficult stage without me having had that experience and also me going through it. And I'm going to be going through it again. And so that's why a lot of times when I teach, I'm like, just trust me, just do it. And it's so rewarding for not only for my students, but for me as an instructor, because I'm like, you know what, we can do this together. And it's going to be a challenging year, but at the same time, the most exhilarating, because it's really a position, motion that I've really worked hard to get to this point to learn. And so it's going to be a fun journey, and I'm going to share some of it to show you that this is what it takes to change. Any kind of change can be hard, but you can make it somewhat easy if you have the right mindset. So I hope to share that with you along my journey.
Okay.
Okay.
You showed me 3 things there, okay, on the video, okay? The first one looked like this, okay?
Uh-huh.
The second one looked like this. The
Oh.
third one looked like that. Okay, you'll see that.
So you're saying
Those were all different. First one was really good, just kind of, you know, nice and even with the release. The second one was like too early and kind of started, it was good, you know, it's the right idea, but it went. And then the third one was like really delayed and snapped at the one. They were all different.
You know, that's
Just watching you'll see that on the video.
No,
Okay?
I understand you,
Yeah.
because when somebody walks up and I've never seen their swing,
Yeah.
and they're talking to me
Yeah.
and they're going like this with
Yeah,
their
you
club,
see it.
and I go, all right, let's go, I already know what you're doing, and they're like, what?
Yeah, yeah, of course.
You
Yeah,
see
you already
that.
see it. Yeah. They just told you what they do. They go, let me tell you about my game, you know, why you just already did.
You just
I can
did,
see-
they're just talking.
I see everything you're doing. They
Wow.
don't, yeah, you know that. You're good at this.
Oh. So here you go, here.
Mm. Really good.
I try to be
She's
quick there.
She's a good teacher. Huh?
Yeah. There's so many students, that story she talks about when they,
I mean, she's good.
I'm getting there. I'm not.
Yeah?
I'm getting there. I'm halfway
Everybody's
there.
getting there. You're gonna get better after what I've shown you here.
I know I'm going
Okay,
to.
because you've got it to the extent of helping, you know, somebody that's, you know, to get to scratch, okay, but we gotta have a little more of this to take them. So the thing is you don't work with that many of those players.
Well, that's
you know? Nobody
the
does.
thing is, it's weird. I have this where I don't really need to prove other people it's weird. It's not a proving thing. It's just, it'd be really interesting because I've taken so many people that don't have an athletic mindset.
Yeah, I
They've
know.
never played a sport.
Right.
They're uncoordinated. Like one arm,
Right.
like this part's uncoordinated to this
Yeah,
arm
yeah,
to
yeah.
this, right?
Yeah.
So you gotta align everything and
Yeah.
eventually they look like, everybody's like, oh, you're born with that swing. They're like, no, I'm not born with this swing.
Yeah.
But then they end up breaking 100, 90s, 80s,
Yeah.
shooting the 70s. They're like, okay, because people go, why are they still taking lessons? I'm like, because now he wants to shoot in the 60s.
Yeah.
You know?
I just have so much like respect for Curtis Stranger just because he was always great to me.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
great.
So anyway, yeah. And, you know, Mark the same way, you know.
But that's what makes you special,
Yeah,
because you
yeah.
just stayed the course and
Yeah, but you know
knocked it
what? If you just teach amateurs, you'll be the best amateur teacher. Seriously, like you give a student that shoots in the hundreds to a teacher, how many teachers you think, I don't care how long you give them, could get that guy into the 70s? That list is so small, you can't believe it. I mean, it's easy, relatively easy to get somebody just to, you know, hit the ball. But it just gets incrementally harder. Like if there's some pro, you know, male, female, doesn't matter, and they need help, they're like missing the boat, not getting you to help them.
Oh,
But
Thank you.
somebody will figure it out.
thank you. My goodness.
Somebody will figure it out.
That's it.
Yeah. Because I could tell you care so much too. You want, you know, and when you put that much into it, you know, then you're the kind of person that somebody should work with. I don't understand why they haven't figured it out. And plus, I can see. I mean, the people who you teach, their swings look great.
Thank you.
There are some golfers out there that want to put in the time, that really want to focus on the game to take it to many levels, and they are at a heightened level, some of them, and they don't know how to continue to break through. So I love practicing for myself, but within it, I know that I can help those people. So I have this thing where I care about other people on top of not only just making myself better. I've always had that. So I've had competitors that, you know, compete, and during competition, they'd be like, you gotta be a little more selfish. And I don't know what it is. It's like innately in me where when I figure something out, I then want to help the next person that want to be helped, not just go and help everybody. I don't do that. I don't walk down the driving range going, can I help you? Never did that. All my lessons have been mostly word of mouth. I just want to put it out there, and I love this because it's your choice. You have the controls. You can swipe this video away. That's okay. Like, that's why I like this, because I can say whatever. Here, this is what I know, and then you can do whatever. So I've never been the instructor where I'm like, you should take a lesson from me. You've got to take a lesson from me, or you need to do this. I've never done that. The last video, I know that it's going to be taken positively and negatively. In a positive way is, I want you to just see it. And for those that want to take their game to many levels, like let's say you're close to being a scratch golfer, and how do you break that? And I've helped people become scratch golfers to +2 and even lower. So that can be a motivation for those kind of golfers. But for the majority, I want you to look at it this way and not what some people can look at it. So I want you to look at it like, oh, okay, she knows what she's talking about within her own game. And then have it be motivation, like, oh, wow, if she can do it, she's, 5'6", 115 pounds roughly, and she can hit it like that, and I'm so much taller and stronger. Hey, what am I capable of doing, right? So that's a positive way to look at it. Mainly, I put it out there as an example, but I just want to get it over with. It's like, I don't want you to go, well, does she really play golf? Because I've had people really gaslight me in that way. If they haven't seen me play, they don't care how many students I've made so much better. They'll like gaslight me, like, I haven't seen you hit balls. Do you even know how to play?
That's
and why are you teaching and things like that. So I've had that. So I just want to get that out of the way. It's just like, look, I can hit some decent golf shots. Can we move along and help most golfers that are trying to improve? They're stuck and they're trying to improve. So in that way, it's good. The negative way is when people do start seeing me and playing golf with me, they'll put me in the category of a pro golfer on tour. So they'll be like, you should be competing. Why aren't you competing? And also they'll say things like, I'm not trying to be like Tiger Woods. I'm not trying to be a pro golfer. And I'll have students that continue to improve, and their friends are like, I'm not trying to be a pro golfer, but then they're like, how are you hitting it 250 yards, or more? So I know what is going on when people see that video. I know there's that positive side, and then I know the negative side. And I want to also have you not put me in a box, because I've had students that have seen me hit. They'll be like, well, let me see you hit a shot, and I'll hit a shot, and they're like, why are you not competing? You should go compete. And I hear that all the time. I have this innate part of me, first of all, that when I learn something, I want to help the next person if they want help. I'm like, oh my gosh, like, you feel stuck? Okay, let me get you out of it, because this is what I went through. I've always had that since I was a kid. I also tell people, if I went to compete, I wouldn't be teaching all these lessons. Because when you start doing what everybody tells you you should do, you're going to be like a chicken without a head, just trying to do everything. And I know and I respect the lifestyle that the touring pros have taken. They practice a lot, like all day, work out. It's really about them and sharpening their knife, their skill set. And it's admirable, but they're not out there teaching an individual one at a time and truly understanding the issues that an average golfer faces. Yeah, they're going to play golf with many types of golfers through a pro-am experience, but still, their mind is at winning the tournament the next day and that week. So they'll see issues that people have, but it's really common to teach a tip and kind of condense everything into something that, oh, okay, well, you should do this, or this is what I'm doing, and they're at a whole nother level. And so it's just that disconnect. And I love being that person that's like kind of in that middle. I can help somebody that's a scratch golfer and want to keep improving. And I can also help somebody who's a beginner. I can help somebody who's athletic to transfer that athleticism to golf. And then I can take somebody who's completely uncoordinated. They'll admit that they're just clumsy. They can't do anything sports related or anything coordinated, and take them to a point where they hit shots and people go, oh, wow, you look so natural. And they'll look at me and we'll both laugh because of what they had to go through to get that coordination. You know, it wasn't a natural transition. So it's like, I love having all of that, you know? And so when I go practice, yeah, I have these sessions where I'm just like, you know, wanting to get closer to perfection of the swing. But there are practices and there are play that when I miss a shot, I want to know more about it. So I'm not there trying to go, you know what, I got to figure out how to score from this. I've done that. But there are times where I'm just like, oh, I want to just put it in even better position, or I want to know what caused that issue. It's like Scotty Scheffler or Rory McIlroy or anybody, you could hear them say, you know, yeah, I like extension in a swing. You know, I just like no wristed, no hand movements, just extension. Let's say, you know, a pro says that or somebody says that. And then you go do it. But what coordination do you have? You know, somebody can have the coordination and talk about extension, but a lot of golfers or people are twisted. So if they're going, oh, I just need extension, they're just twisted. So their extension's like this. I mean, it's just not, but it takes time, but in a good way. It's actually cool. It's a very good way to get extension that is doable, whether you have coordination or you don't. So that goes back to, you know, why don't I take my skill to being a pro golfer and go compete? And I'm like, I love the success all around me. I love it. Like, I love to hit solid shots. It's just fun. I love to watch somebody pure it and actually feel it for the first time in their life. They're like, I've never felt that before. And like, yeah, because you just pured it. You've never pured it. You thought your solid shot was pure as it gets. Oh, there's so many levels to pure. So they're like, I didn't feel anything. I go, yeah, I call it the marshmallow shot.
Wow.
You don't feel the ball. That's a whole nother video. Here I go again. I can't help it. So much to talk about. So much that's changed people's lives. And so I had somebody go, you're waffling. I heard that word. It's beyond the waffle itself. And I wrote it to him. It was really funny. I put the definition for people to see in case they don't understand what he's saying. There's double meaning to waffling, waffles. So waffles that you eat, it's like a pancake and you put syrup on it. So good. And then there's waffling where you talk about something and then you go off on another one and then you come back, and that's what I got out of it from the dictionary. Or there's a part that was more of like not knowing what you're talking about, something like that. And so yeah, I could take it and go, okay, you know, I got to be more like textbook. But I can't. That's not how I am. During lessons, I'm more direct, but within questions, we do talk about various things. And enjoying the environment and the birds. I take the time, like, look at that hawk. Wow, it's beautiful. Or we'll stop and look at deer. Those are important things. They're more important than the golf swing, the golf game. It's really important. So there's going to be times where I will talk about many different things, but I tell you what, I know that it has not only benefited my life to find more joy, but it has benefited so many others. So to some, I'm waffling, and you know what? Swipe. Go look at somebody that isn't waffling. And but also know that, as much as I talk about technology, like, I'm not Siri, like, this is what it is, and this is what you should do. There are people like that, and so there are videos like that, so you can go swipe and go there. I am going to be more human and more loving and caring. Also, at the same time, put in the time. If you put in a little bit of time to get better, to better yourself. Do what you enjoy, but also to just keep improving yourself in a good, healthy way, in a balanced way. Okay, whatever you define balance, because it's a definition different for everybody. But put in just a little more time for yourself, and it just feels good. Just like, oh wow, I got to another level. That's so cool. I know that it feels good because every single student that was miserable, just kind of not improving, to then improving. Just yesterday, a student's like, this is fun. It's getting fun, like, yes. And we couldn't think of another word. Like, I have videos in the past, you'll see at the end, I'll be like, all right, have fun. And I can't think of another word. And she's the same way. She's like, I can't think of another word, but it's fun. And I'm like, yes, fun. Yeah, I don't fit in a box. I could go and just practice for myself, compete for myself, and be an inspiration that way. There are so many pro golfers out there that are an inspiration, and there are upcoming golfers that want to do that, and I think it's awesome. And I'm just kind of that person where it's like I see it. I've been around pros, I've seen how they practice, I know what they're working on top of being around the majority of golfers that are just wanting to enjoy the game better. And I always say, to enjoy it, you got to hit some good shots. And there is this other type of joy that comes from it. But also, I always tell my students, when it gets sort of ego-driven, scores and things like that, that should just come to you as you continue to enjoy the process and improve. Sometimes, the game can sort of get in your head in a negative way, but it can also get in your head in an egotistical way. And I always kind of create that balance where, enjoy the process, but also as you get better, I'm not training you to be a miserable scratch golfer, because there are miserable scratch golfers. It's just never enough. So there is a way to continue to improve, but also be like, wow, I love life. This is so cool. And I don't care if anybody's watching me or not. I just love it for myself. Like, this feels good, and I know I'm doing the right things, and I'm grateful to be outside in this nature and the birds and the sky. It's just so beautiful. And there's that. And so I'm not here to create a miserable scratch golfer.